Alright, welcome back for another DVD review. Sorry about that, I had to get that out of my system. Well, welcome back. If you are returning or if you're new here, then welcome to the channel. If anybody's even watching this at all, I might just be talking to myself, but either way, I've got to get all this shit out of my system one way or another, so that's why I do this. So, anyway, today I'm going to talk about a movie that's actually very well known, I'm sure, by this point. I hear a lot of people cite this movie as one of their favorite movies, or definitely one of their favorite John Carpenter movies. As it is one of mine as well. It's not my favorite, but it is one of my favorite that he's done. But it is 1988's They Live. So I love this damn movie. I was going to say there's not really anything bad to say about it off the top of my head, by any means. But we'll kind of get into it here in just a minute. This is just the regular Universal DVD. I've had this for a long time, but definitely a good enough version. It's just fine. I need to pick it up on Blu-ray eventually, but I'm sure I will if I find it cheap. I'm not going to go out of my way to just transfer all of my stuff over to Blu-ray just quite yet. I just kind of pick them up as I can find them. But so anyway, we'll just kind of get into it. So They Live, which again came out in 1988, directed by John Carpenter. It is based on a short story, I believe, called 8 O'Clock in the Morning, if I'm not mistaken. I have not read the short story. I probably should. I don't, again, I honestly think it follows it fairly close, I believe, for what I understand. But again, I haven't read too much into that. But this movie, if you don't know, which I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this movie, but if you haven't, this movie basically follows Roddy Piper, the late Roddy Piper, rest in peace, and Keith David, and a whole host of other John Carpenter regulars. But it basically follows, like I said, Roddy Piper is basically your sort of average kind of everyday guy who is, he works construction. He's kind of, he's a working man. He's a blue collar dude, just trying to, make some money, trying to live his life. And he basically, he's living in this kind of, I guess, shanty town, for lack of a better word, with all these other kind of homeless folks who are just trying to work and make a living and survive. And he ends up stumbling upon, a lot of weird stuff kind of starts going on around there, especially across the street at this church. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of people in and out. There's police and helicopters and all kinds of stuff going on. And, people are being taken off. And Roddy Piper, his character, he does have a name in this movie, but they don't really say it, so I will keep calling him Roddy Piper, but anyway, he stumbles upon basically a box full of sunglasses, and when you put these sunglasses on, you see that everyone not everyone, but the world is basically being run by these aliens, these really creepy looking, kind of messed up looking aliens, that it's really cool. Like, the first time I saw this, it really tripped me out. It was a really neat concept. But basically, once you put it on, it kind of interferes with a signal that they're being put out. And basically everyone is asleep. They want us to keep sleeping and want us to just believe that everything is normal and that everything's okay. And basically, Roddy Piper just kind of snaps, and he has enough of this, and he just kind of goes all, balls to the wall. Basically has a shootout. He's killing as many of them as he can. The police are after him. All this good stuff. And nobody believes him, until finally him and Keith David get into this giant altercation, and then he manages to finally get Keith David on his side, and basically it kind of just spirals from there. They kind of go and they want to attack the aliens on their home front, not their home front, but their what am I trying to say? They go to this meeting, and this big kind of ball sort of meeting thing that they're having, and it's all run by these aliens that are basically, again, just trying to keep us asleep and just run Earth, I guess, you know. And it's just really neat. It's one of those, you know, concepts of, you know, rich people are really alien people, you know, in disguise, and that they're making all the decisions behind the scenes, and we have no idea because it's just, we're living in a simulation, kind of. So if you really like stuff like that, definitely check this out. This is definitely one of my favorite John Carpenter films. Like I said, not my favorite, but one of my favorite. I don't really have a lot to say about it because this movie I feel like has just been done and done and done, but you know, over and over again on YouTube, you know. But I haven't talked about it, and I just wanted to show some love for this movie because I really do enjoy it. I find myself coming back to it all the time. You know, it's always a fun watch. I'm never disappointed. I'm never like, oh, They Live, we're gonna watch that. No, I'm always just pumped. I'm like, let's do it. Let's check it out because it's a very unique concept, very, very interesting. You know, especially for the time. Like I said, this came out in '88, so and John Carpenter, you know, I mean, love his directing style, and the way he went about this and the way he put this on screen is so excellent. Like when you hear the premise of it, it honestly sounds a little silly. That's kind of what I thought, you know, over 10 years ago or so, whenever I first saw this movie. I remember people on YouTube used to talk about it all the time. You know, Booger Boy Meister, Cool Duder, you know, Sean C. Phillips, you know, Cool Duder. I used to watch him. I still watch him all the time, but I used to watch him all the time, and he would bring this one up quite often. On there, and I always thought the concept kind of sounded sort of goofy in a way, like, I mean, the premise of it, but then once you really sit down and watch it and you kind of see what's going on, it's anything but. It's very interesting and very unique. I love it. You know, again, there's nothing really bad I can say about this. Roddy Piper is so much fun. He is so crazy and goofy, and he's awesome. I love him in this movie. Keith David is awesome in this movie, as always. I love him in everything that I've ever seen him in. And again, like I said, there's a few other John Carpenter regulars that I don't really know off the top of my head. I don't know, you know, their names right now off the top of my head, but you know, if you're a John Carpenter fan, you know, and you've seen a lot of his work, you know, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, Christine, it is definitely a John Carpenter film, you know, in the DNA. It really, it fills in that kind of niche, I guess, if you want to say, for lack of a better term. But it is a really fun watch. I cannot recommend it enough. Highly recommend this. I think I'm going to give this one, I'll be, you know, I think I was pretty generous on my last video, so I'll be generous with this one because I love this movie quite a bit. I'll give this one a 4 out of 5 because it is just great. I have a blast watching it. You know, it's not perfect by any means. It does have some minor issues, but again, nothing is really coming to mind that's really, you know, just bothersome about it. But of course, I'm not going to be so generous that I just give it a 5 out of 5. How about we give it, now we'll stick with 4 out of 5. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to rank it too high, even though it might deserve it. But anyway, I definitely check this one out. Do not skip it. I picked this DVD up for really cheap. I think I found this at like Game Exchange or something, if I'm not mistaken, when I bought it. I've had this one for a long time, but I love this movie. There he is right there, and there's one of the aliens. I also think it's really neat. There's this cool effect that whenever he puts on the glasses, it is black and white. Whenever, you know, you're looking through Roddy Piper's eyes, I think that's really cool. You know, if you don't like black and white, that might bother you, but it's not, the whole film is not in black and white. And the aliens look great. I mean, just the makeup effects are awesome. Like, I can't state that enough. The aliens are really really creepy looking, and it has a really eerie feeling about it. Like whenever he puts on the glasses and he starts to notice, you know, everything, it just, I don't know, the first time I saw it, it really kind of made my skin crawl. Just the way that the aliens look and the way that they stare, you know, at Roddy Piper, and just the look on their faces is just so spooky. And to think that, you know, I mean, hell, this could be real. I mean, for all we know, I mean, we could be living in a simulation. We just got to find the damn sunglasses first. But anyway, definitely check this one out. Like I said, don't skip this one. 4 out of 5. Highly recommend. Cannot recommend it enough. But yeah, that's John Carpenter's They Live. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one. And goodbye. Have a great day.